Last week, Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, endorsed the Iran deal between Tehran and world powers, which should shred the confidence of even liberals regarding whether this deal is safe for the United States and our allies. The supreme leader of Iran has the final say over all policy decisions in Iran. Last week, he said Iran should be worried about the U.S. because we're hostile. You can't make this stuff up. He said America is the hostile one. The irony is astounding. Joining me now with her take on the Middle East is former CIA operations officer Clare Lopez. Clare, what's your take on what Iran's supreme leader said? Are we too hostile?
Well, in fact, what the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, did is send a letter to the president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, and also to the speaker of their parliament, the Majlis, Ali Larijani. And in this letter, he gave his sort of conditional approval for this deal, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. But then he attached 10 separate conditions to his approval, which in essence, by their totality, invalidate the deal. So basically, there is no deal. The United States has no partner for this deal, and I don't know what the White House thinks that they're going to be implementing.
If a GOP candidate wins the 2016 presidential election, is it possible to put this deal to bed, to get rid of it? Is that something that's likely to happen, or once it's a done deal, is it irreversible?
Well, I think that we do need to hold our presidential candidates, all of them, to account and put them on the record, get them on the record with a statement about how they would deal with Iran if and when elected. But the point about this deal is that, number one, it's an executive agreement. It's not a treaty. It's not been held to be a treaty by the United States, although in Iran they do sort of kind of hold it to be a treaty. But the second thing is nobody has signed it. Nobody has signed anything in this deal. And now we have the supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, picking it apart and attaching conditions like, if we impose any kind of sanctions ever again for anything, including terrorism, human rights, or non-compliance with the terms of the deal itself, the deal's null and void on the Iranian side. And so, by the way, the supreme leader, our negotiating partner here, also recommended that our president, Barack Obama, should be prosecuted in a court of international law.
It's unbelievable that they've even made this deal, but those amendments, if you will, seem to invalidate it right from its foundation. It's unbelievable the point that it's gotten to. What does this mean for the U.S.? It's obviously an almost immediate threat for our allies in Israel, but what does it mean for the U.S.? How is it a danger to us?
Well, it's a danger for us because Iran is pursuing the development of a deliverable nuclear weapons capability. They probably already have nuclear warheads. They certainly have the missiles that can carry those warheads on their nose cones. The immediate danger is both to Israel, which is in its immediate vicinity and against which the leadership of Iran utters genocidal threats practically on a daily basis. But it's also to the United States, because we have to understand that with the one single knockout punch from an Iranian or any other nuclear weapon exploded in our high atmosphere over the center of the country, our electric grid goes down from an electromagnetic pulse effect. We are unprotected. Our civilian grid is unprotected completely from this kind of an effect, which can also come from the sun, from solar flares. But talking about Iran as a potential source of a nuclear capability, this directly threatens the United States of America. If we lost our electric grid within 12 months, congressional studies show 9 out of 10 Americans would be dead. Now, when the leadership of Iran daily leads chants in death to America, death to Israel, they mean it, and this is one way they could accomplish that if we allow this deal to go through and we implement it while they will not.
No, it's reported that they launched a missile, that they did some missile testing here recently. Is that in direct violation of this new agreement? Is that against other regulations? Doesn't that nullify it right from the get-go before it's even been signed?
It is definitely in violation of existing United Nations resolutions that put limits and ban exactly such tests of nuclear-capable missiles by the Iranian regime. So they are in violation, certainly, of the United Nations resolutions on this. The unfortunate part about the JCPOA, this deal, is that it doesn't even address Iran's missile, intercontinental or ballistic missile capability. It's not even in the deal. But there are resolutions on the UN side which that test violated and which need to be addressed.